Let's spend a short weekend in one of America's most visited national parks, the Rocky Mountains. Well, I am officially in Colorado, in Denver specifically, and I am going to be heading up to Rocky Mountain National Park. Gonna stay there this evening, wake up really early tomorrow, and do the Sky Pond hike. But for right now, I'm about to go into Sierra Trading Post. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you probably know that I love to stop in a Sierra when there's one around, especially because we don't really have these in the Southeast. Last year on a road trip, we found a gold mine of these dehydrated meals marked down to $2 and $3 each. I don't know if we'll ever find that kind of deal again. Just came out of Sierra Trading Post and I got trekking poles. I might just go ahead and head on up to Estes Park. Estes Park is the town right outside of Rocky Mountain National Park. I decided to drive straight through town for now and head directly into the national park because the timed entry just ended at 2 p.m. and it looks like the weather is going to get worse as the day progresses. Let's see as much of the park as possible. I have just arrived at the Beaver Meadows Visitor Center, and this is the first time I've gotten out of the car since I was in Denver. It's in the 40s now, and I definitely was not prepared for that. It's raining and windy. I got a park map. The park ranger, I asked for some recommendations of what I could do with the rest of today. She said basically to just drive around. Didn't really recommend doing any hikes just because the weather is a little bad. It's kind of probably a good idea because I don't want to do anything crazy since I plan to do a big hike tomorrow. So here we go. Even with the rain, there's still a wait. With this weather, let's just keep in the car. We're going to take the scenic drive up Trail Ridge Road. The park rangers seem tentative regarding the status of this road, saying that winter conditions near the top could lead to potential closures. While the weather I'm seeing is a little snowy, it's hard for me to fathom, especially in July, but we'll see soon, I suppose. It's cold out there. Had no idea. We're gonna continue down Trail Ridge Road. The map said it was closed, but I see cars going that way, so we'll see. There's certainly more and more snow as we ascend. Road conditions are a little wet, but ultimately fine. We have now reached the Alpine Visitor Center, which, by the way, is the highest visitor center in the national park system at 11,796 feet. It's freezing. It's 34 degrees, so not freezing yet. I was not expecting it to be this cold and snowy, so that's kind of cool. But I'm gonna continue on Trail Ridge Road. Just go back down towards Estes Park. Look at this massive snow wall. Actually, so I'm at Medicine Bow Curve, and I think I'm actually gonna turn around here in a minute because this goes to Grand Lake, and I really don't want to go there because I think it'll be a little bit of a far drive to get back to Estes Park. So I'm gonna go a little bit and then maybe turn around somewhere and then head back towards Estes Park. Okay, actually I'm deciding to turn around and just go back because this side of the Trail Ridge Road is just going down and all I can see are trees. So I'm just gonna turn around and go back through Estes Park. Now I just am at this random little pullout, so nothing special here. Okay, it's really starting to come down here. The fact that it's the middle of summer right now just blows my mind. You can tell we're rapidly descending as the winter landscape is quickly fading. Now let's just walk up and down this main street here in Estes Park. And yes, this is within the same day, within the same hour even. With the weather here, I can't believe I was just in the snow a few minutes ago. Like most touristy towns by national parks, you can see that there are plenty of t-shirts and souvenirs available for sale around here. I'm stopping in this Outdoor World store, which is a gear shop, and I'm going to get some yak tracks. I meant to pack mine, but I have no idea where they are. These are a little bit marked up, but not too bad, and it's also good to know that you can buy all sorts of gear here in Estes Park. Last time I was here with my dad, we came to this Nepali restaurant behind the main street. I'm going to make an order of momo to go, which are Nepali dumplings, and then head back into the national park to enjoy dinner with a view. I just obtained the momo. I think I'm gonna go find somewhere to sit and eat it. This area of the park is called Bear Lake Corridor, and you have two options to access it. Option 1, you can get in with a timed entry reservation, which can be pretty limited. Option 2, you can enter this area before 5 a.m. or after 6 p.m., which is what I'm doing here. I decided that for this evening, I'm gonna head to Bear Lake, which happens to be where I plan to start out my long hike tomorrow. Even though the weather is finally clearing up a bit, there isn't really enough time left in the day to do any type of real hike, plus I have to wake up pretty early tomorrow to return here before they start checking those entry tickets at 5 a.m. Here we've reached the end of the road, which is also the parking lot to Bear Lake, as well as the main trailhead for several hikes that lead to other alpine lakes. You can see why the timed entry might be necessary with how limited the parking is. There are shuttles that run throughout this area of the park, however, I've never needed to use them myself. You can see all the other hikes that start here, but like I said, for now, we're just gonna go sit by Bear Lake, which is less than a minute from the parking lot. There aren't too many people here at this time of day, which is great. I found the perfect little private viewpoint for dinner. So if I start here, I'm gonna go that way tomorrow. I have a feeling that's Sky Pond, those jagged edges. I think that's where I might be going tomorrow, if I can make it. But yeah, this is from the Bear Lake parking lot. Now I'm gonna head to the accommodations for the evening. One of the bad things about Estes Park and really Rocky Mountain National Park is that lodging around here can be kind of expensive. At the time of this trip, the cheapest room was $270 per night. And since I'm getting up and leaving at around 4 a.m. anyways, I did not want to pay that much to be in a room for less than 8 hours. So I opted for a hostel. It wasn't bad, but it's geared towards climbers who apparently start even earlier than 4 a.m. So everyone was asleep by 7 here. With that, I'm not quite ready to go to bed, so I'm gonna walk around town for a little bit. So it's dark in here. I'm in the car. It's even darker in the hostel, so I can't really show it because people are already sleeping because I guess they get up early, so I can't really turn the lights on to show what it is, but it's essentially just a bunk, so nothing crazy, which is fine because I'm only going to be sleeping there for like 5 hours anyway, so yeah, I'm going to head back and pretty much go straight to sleep. It's a little before 4 a.m. and I'm headed back to the Bear Lake parking lot to bypass this ticket entry system, as well as to secure a parking spot because they do fill up pretty quickly. Okay, you can barely see me. I just got here, but I realized that I was supposed to text my mom where I was hiking today, and I didn't do that, and there's no reception, so the parking lot is empty. I'm gonna go back out to where I can get reception and send her where I'm gonna be, because it's gonna be at least all morning that she won't hear from me, and I'm just gonna better do it just to do it. Oh, okay, luckily I did find like the slightest bit of LTE, so I sent the text, and I think I'm just gonna take a little nap. Yeah, not the most flattering lighting, but it's where we are. It's 4:10. There's starting to be more and more people here. The parking lot is full by 5 a.m., which seems like an unreasonable hour to be awake, but I'm typically in an Eastern time, so it's really only my 7 o'clock. There's already a ton of people out here. It's about 40 degrees. I know the altitude is gonna get me. Here we're passing our first lake after Bear Lake, which is Nymph Lake. The path I'm taking today is not how one might typically hike to Sky Pond, but I really love the hike to Dream and Emerald Lakes. And it's only about an extra 1.5 miles out of the way, so I'm adding it in. I think experienced hikers could totally make this addition, but if you're unsure of your capabilities and you really want to make it to Sky Pond, I would leave out the detour to Emerald Lake. As for me, I like to think that I'm somewhat experienced, so I'm gonna go for it. Here is Dream Lake. I can see why they call it that. This place truly does not feel real. Just a little ways to go before we reach Emerald Lake. It is incredible here at sunrise. If you climb up these boulders for a bit, you can get a unique perspective of both Dream Lake and Emerald Lake. Glad to be going downhill a little bit. Whew, got a long way to go.
These ones right here are actually federally protected.
Now we're headed to our next stop, which is Lake Haiyaha. Kind of sounds like we're doing some karate. To get to this lake, the trail just kind of ends, so you have to do quite a bit of rock scrambling, but it is well worth it. Once you make past these boulders, you're rewarded with a captivating view, vibrant waters, and crystal clear mountain reflection. Look at that tree. I think this is easily my favorite lake along this hike. A great place for a water break. Now let's continue to the next lake, which is the Loch. Alright, and we're going to want to follow this sign towards Loch Mills Junction. Is it me, or does this bridge look just like a Little Debbie Nutty Buddy? Alright, now we are at the Loch Mill Junction. From here, we're obviously heading towards the Loch and Sky Pond. A couple of switchbacks here, and I'm definitely starting to feel tired now. And here is the Loch. About here is where I made a hiking buddy. Vivek, if you are ever seeing this, hello. We kept passing each other back and forth, so we ended up continuing on together. Now is where we gain some elevation. We're going to walk uphill in the snow patches as well as climb up a waterfall. I was really glad that I bought the yak tracks. It's doable without them, but I'd rather not have to struggle. And And there's the waterfall that we'll have to climb up here in a second. In my opinion, this part's not bad at all, as long as you don't mind to get a little wet. Once we make it up through the falls, we are now at the Lake of Glass, still about a half mile before we reach Sky Pond. And all of a sudden, here we are. Check out those towering peaks. They're called cathedral spires. It is absolutely incredible here. And just like that, it's already time to head back down. We still have a long way to go. Again, I don't think the waterfall part is that challenging. The only thing that makes it an obstacle are all the people causing bottlenecks here. This icy snow is harder to walk in for me. For them too. It's kind of a fun way to get down. The bag is getting kind of heavy. I think I'm ready to be done now. One final stop here at Alberta Falls, and then we have about 1 mile left. And here, I've made a complete loop. And there is my super close parking spot, thank goodness. Well, I just finished my hike and now I'm leaving Bear Lake, Trailhead. Wow! I didn't think it was going to be the hardest hike of my life until the last 2 miles, honestly. That last 2 miles was rough. Okay, well, I got McDonald's because I'm so tired to figure anything else out. And it's like really messy. I'm really tired. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start driving towards the rental car place. I think I was so tired at this point that I didn't even think to make a nice, true ending for this video. But anyways, thanks for watching.